Okay, this question round will start with Mr. Oxner, then Mr. Long, Mr. Nieves, and Mr. Melendez. Mr. Oxner.
Yeah, I do support the end of earmarks. I know it's low-hanging fruit, but at Congress, we even refuse to go after the low-hanging fruit because, you know, we talk about we can't balance the budget because it's always Medicare and Social Security, so the other stuff we can't even touch. So I would earmarks among a lot of other low-hanging fruit. Again, you know, we're out of money and we need to do just what's necessary. We don't need to be bringing back special projects to the community, even though, you know, the community is here. That's what the local politicians are for, the local taxes. We need to stop sending our taxes to California, and trust me, they get more earmarks than we do. So if we ban the earmarks, Central Florida will win.
They're unconstitutional, clearly, and for one state to be routing from another state is exactly the opposite of what the founders intended, which was to be united and have a very limited federal government. I would say this, it's interesting to me that every time we talk about spending, we have a lot of these debates, it really starts talking about consolidating and cutting into the Defense Department. I'm not saying we can't do that, but we got trillions of dollars of debt just in 1 year. I mean, obviously you have to reform your entitlement program, but I would, at least that's the legitimate function of government is to keep us safe. I mean, getting rid of things like the Department of Education, which isn't working at all, costing $60 billion a year, not accomplishing anything for this country. You're looking at EPA, Department of Energy. If they can't get us off our dependence on foreign oil, which is what their assignment was in the 70s, why are they still there? I mean, we've got subsidies and welfare programs, and National Endowment of Arts, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, I wouldn't start with the Defense Department first. I'd go after things that are going to save actually trillions and hundreds of billions, and things that shouldn't even be there to begin with, and things that aren't working. And then I'd find my way 2050 to look at the Defense Department and intelligence agencies, which are at least a legitimate purpose of government to keep us safe. So I have a big difference in that area. We wrote a book of specific solutions that'll save us trillions of dollars. Obviously, Obamacare needs to be repealed. And obviously, if we have an energy plan that makes sense, that'll bring in hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars to keep here in the country each year. So I think we need to start thinking in terms of large cuts to balance the budget.
The budget is about spending wisely, but it's also about raising revenue at the top line. And as far as bringing investments back to the community, one of the things that I like to do is focus on agriculture. And as it ties in to biofuels as a way to fuel our nation. Right now, renewable energy is being developed all around the United States. Yet the Southeast is getting just a fraction of the money that is being invested in some of this research. Agricultural, the agricultural industry is a big industry for Florida. It has been one that has been strong and it can be stronger. It's one that can be expanded from the fields into hydroponic production and actually create jobs for not just immigrants, as you would think, but actually men, women, young, and old, within in a controlled environment. So, you know, the goal for me in that area is to go find funding for Florida based on industry opportunities, and no, I don't believe in the earmarks.
Before I respond to Mr. Long's comments, yes, I would ban an earmark. You know, I'll do a ban on earmarks, kind of like what I mentioned before. You have to have a funding formula. For instance, in Central Florida, we have a high veteran population, so there's no need for an earmark to create a hospital or VA hospital in Lake Nona. The reason why we have a VA hospital in Lake Nona is because there are so many veterans of foreign wars that are living in Central Florida. So it shouldn't be a special earmark that Congressman Melendez is so powerful that he's able to bring it back. It should be a neutral, unbiased situation where there's a genuine need that the federal government has a responsibility to take care of. We have a responsibility to take care of our veterans after they come back from war. And I'm going to make sure that occurs. But I'm not going to sit there and say, I live in Illinois, therefore I'm going to give a VA hospital in Illinois. I'm going to give the VA hospital where the funding formula justifies the numbers. And I'm going to always stick to that because that is how we get into the mess that we're in for financial reasons. And to address Mr. Long's concerns, of course, I'm for eliminating the Department of Defense and some of these other issues. But we don't want to get into a partisan fight. I'm fighting against Alan Grayson. I got to go against Alan Grayson and not just say, I'm going to eliminate all the Democrat-leaning inefficiencies that exist in government. There are inefficiencies in the Department of Defense, and I'll go after it. Absolutely. When I was in Iraq, we had 2 scanners. I went to eat lunch. One scanner, another scanner. The Department of Defense has too much money. And if you don't think it is, then maybe you don't understand the Department of Defense and appropriations that exist. We have to eliminate funding that does not matter, that is redundant, that is overlapping, and that is obsolete, and I will fight to take away money that is inappropriate, no matter where it is.